What's up, squad? Back with another video. I seen that title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Y'all see it. Obviously, y'all know y'all have Zoran Mandani. This is what has, and honestly, it's always been this. I feel like so many people had got on, eggs. I said this, I said that, about Zoran Mandani. You had an individual saying, well, I think, he's going to have this different standpoint, when he meets with, President Trump. Honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I definitely feel as if President Trump will, in a way, and did, humble him. But he will still have that, evil in him, of course, and that's just me. You have here Mayor-elect Zoran Mandani said once he takes office, we're going to make it very clear that NYPD is not assisting ICE in their actions. Check it out.
I think we're going to make it very clear that the NYPD is not assisting ICE in their actions. And I've said, even directly to the president, frankly, that these raids are cruel and inhumane, and they do nothing to actually serve the interests of public safety.
So, and that's, again, wild, seeing how much crime, it is. Definitely wild. But even after meeting with President Trump, you have Zoran Mandani, this is from New York Post. Zoran Mandani gives advice to evade ICE and video message calling stand up to feds. Literally, pretty crazy. There's a video, says Zoran Mandani released a video today urging illegal immigrants in New York City to stand up to ICE, explaining how to avoid federal enforcement after ICE raid in Chinatown was disrupted by protesters last weekend.
Last weekend, ICE attempted to raid Canal Street and detain our immigrant neighbors. As mayor, I'll protect the rights of every single New Yorker, and that includes the more than 3 million immigrants who call this city their home. But we can all stand up to ICE if you know your rights. If you encounter ICE, these are the things that every New Yorker should know. First, ICE cannot enter into private spaces like your home, school, or a private area of your workplace without a judicial warrant signed by a judge. That looks like this. If ICE does not have a judicial warrant signed by a judge, you have the right to say, I do not consent to entry, and the right to keep your door closed. Sometimes,
I'm not gonna lie, this is wild, y'all.
Sometimes ICE will show you paperwork that looks like this and tell you that they have the right to arrest you. That is false. ICE is legally allowed to lie to you, but you have the right to remain silent. If you're being detained, you may always ask, am I free to go, repeatedly until they answer you. You are legally allowed to film ICE as long as you do not interfere with an arrest. It is important to remain calm during any interaction with ICE or law enforcement. Do not impede their investigation, resist arrest, or run. One last thing. New Yorkers have a constitutional right to protest, and when I'm mayor, we will protect that right. New York will always welcome immigrants, and I will fight each and every day to protect, support, and celebrate our immigrant brothers and sisters.
So, and I find it completely insane that even making this video and letting people know a lot of these things, and it's one thing about letting someone know what to do. Obviously, don't run, don't fight with the agents or the police. Don't do this, don't do that. But you're literally basically protecting, a lot. And this goes, this is going also for individuals. And again, it's all crime. That's a crime, obviously coming here, here illegally. But for those individuals, that's literally like horrible. I mean, they're constantly seeing stuff like this. I'm telling y'all, it's absolutely insane about this. He added that New Yorkers may film ICE as long as they don't interfere, and vowed that as mayor he will protect the rights of the city's more than 3 million immigrants, including the right to protest. I'm telling y'all, it's literally insane to me. It's literally insane. Says Zoran Mandani just posted a serious face video whining that ICE raids are cruel and inhumane and don't do nothing for public safety. He followed up declaring that he's the mayor for every person that calls this city their home, which now includes anyone with a suitcase and a fob. Forget borders, law, citizenship. Mandani's NYC welcome mat is big enough for a whole planet. I'm telling y'all, it's literally insane. Just check it out.
When I met with the president, I made very clear that these kinds of raids are cruel and inhumane, that they are raids that do nothing to serve the interests of public safety, and that my responsibility is to be the mayor to each and every person that calls this city their home. And that includes millions of immigrants, of which I am one.
Mind y'all, as he's saying all of this, this is a post by New York Post. Says New York State has released nearly 7,000 known illegal migrant criminals without notifying ICE since President Trump took office. One thing about this, y'all, is that they're releasing. Not only are they releasing, it's well over 7,000, but there's also criminals that's already been in the streets of New York City. When I tell y'all this is absolutely disgusting, it's absolutely disgusting. I don't see how you have this, you want to protect, you want them, I don't see it. I don't know what people are. I don't know if they're delusional, like they're not seeing like what this is for, but they're literally innocent people getting hurt, getting injured, getting unalived off of, these individuals. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I truly don't get that. I truly don't get that whatsoever. This is a post by @ICE Gov, so y'all can go check this out as well. But check it out, Fox News.
Of justice. We're seeing that these criminal illegal aliens are exiting the jails and going back onto New York or Chicago or these other sanctuary streets to re-perpetuate their crimes. Today, in New York City's jails are 7,169 criminal illegal aliens. We're talking about hundreds of murderers, hundreds of sexual predators, drug traffickers, the worst of the worst. Dan Goldman and these other sanctuary city politicians, they should agree to hand over those individuals, honor those detainers, and then we won't have to flood the zone with our ICE law enforcement. We won't have to put those men and women on the ground because we will get these vicious criminals out of New York City's jails.
Right. It's definitely important. Definitely, I feel like it's definitely an important thing to do. Obviously, you have people that disagree with me saying that, and I truly don't get why people, would want more and more criminals out, onto the streets. I put out a video yesterday, New York, they're literally people that's, that have the, drugs on the street, alcohol, counterfeit goods that they're selling on the street, in New York City, and other places. But it's truly, truly, truly sickening, to have, this is an amazing place, definitely an amazing place. I always wanted to go to New York. I always wanted to visit New York. But I truly don't see that happening. I truly don't see that happening just based off of, the things that clearly been seeing that's been going on. You having a lot of these protests. You having literally people that's blocking ICE agents in. That was blocking the ICE agents in a garage. It's stuff like that. Blocking their cars. It's literally sad, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. This right here, this is a professional protester named Martina Crane. Says she's exposed as working with Democratic National Convention. She is helping illegals avoid ICE, providing spreadsheets on how to avoid ICE in 25 cities, working with New York AG Letitia James' office. I'm telling y'all. Says this is has a link that leads you to a spreadsheet of phone numbers to call if you see ICE, along with that has a photo of over 25 cities that provides instructions on how to evade ICE in that given city. You can just click on any one of them. I'm pretty sure there's a link somewhere. Hopefully I can find a link so I can post it just so y'all can see it, obviously. But it's literally insane. I'm not even gonna lie. Here's New York City as an example. If you flip the flyer around, it says how to report ICE. Flip it back and details of how to report. In this case, calling Letitia James' office. I'm telling y'all, it's absolutely insane. Check it out.
You see her, she's a professional protester, and I'm about to expose her for breaking the law. She hid the evidence, but I found it first. Right now, she's going to ask her associate if he's been able to keep up with me, as in prevent all my interviews at this protest.
So far, been able to keep up? Ma'am, just want to let you know he's a right-wing YouTuber generating content. Okay.
But her professionally protesting and telling him to do that isn't breaking the law, though. Keep watching. Meet Martina Crane. She's obsessed with Luigi Mangione, the alleged assassin of the United Healthcare CEO, saying, "You're the only one I want to be cuffed to, and I'd kill for you, and Can I shoot my shot at you? Martina has been at her fair share of protests, and she's also worked with the Democratic National Convention. She went to Columbia Business School, and now she's pro-socialism and instructing her professional protester teammates to follow journalists around, which I have to say is very ironic considering I saw her at the Tax the Rich rally just recently and asked her for an interview, and look what happened. Can I ask why you're not authorized to speak to the press? Like, who said that to you? Because you seem like you... I'm just a New Yorker like you. Why do we need to have...
Who you are.
Who am I?
People are aware of who you are. Please go away.
How ironic is it that she tells people to follow me, and yet she won't answer a single question and runs away? Okay, well, we're out in the public. Okay, sure. Why should we abolish prisons? But perhaps the most shocking thing about Martina is she's actively helping illegal immigrants avoid ICE. If you look at her link tree, you'll see the top link, which is ICE watch signs. That link leads you to a spreadsheet of phone numbers to call if you see ICE. Along with that is a folder of over 25 cities that provides instructions of how to evade ICE in that given city. That is insane. Just click on any one of them. Here's New York City as an example. If you flip the flyer around, it says how to report ICE, and flip it back and it details how to do the report, in this case calling Letitia James's office. According to Title 8 of the United States Code Section 1324, it is illegal to shield illegals from detection by law enforcement, including ICE, as well as encourage or induce them to remain in the US illegally. Martina Crane might be worth law enforcement's time. Now she's taken down those ICE watch signs from her link tree after my YouTube video went live. Knowing she'd do that though, I screen recorded everything, including the hundreds of phone numbers that she compiled and shared to prevent ICE from doing their job. So you can delete the evidence, Martina, but you still broke the law. I'm Nate Friedman, and
one thing about it, I'm not even gonna lie, arrest her. Phil, definitely, arrestable. And I say that because just for the simple fact that this is definitely something that's very, very, very much so disgusting to see. It's definitely disgusting. That they're, continue to do this. It's literally having people. I literally showed y'all individuals that get paid good. Get paid a couple thousand a day just by, doing. I'm pretty sure what she's doing and paying other, protesters to be there. There's individuals that get paid up to, I would say over $200 a day. Definitely insane. But one thing about it, definitely, please definitely need to get involved when it comes down to it. Definitely need to get involved. That just takes me back to, President Trump literally saying that he will arrest Zoran Mandani. Check it out.
Your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zohran Mamdani, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zohran Mandani?
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. We send him money. We send him all the things that he needs to run a government. And by the way, they get about 3 times what you get, Ron. If you look,
I'm telling y'all, one thing about it, like I've said, and I said at the beginning of this video, you had a lot of people that, oh, well, even myself, I've said, that maybe this will, change, Zoran Mandani's. Honestly, when you have such an evil person, just an individual that's like that, it's nothing that you really can, it's just something that you definitely, you have to watch, you have to enforce, when it comes to a lot of things. That's why President Trump will be doing it. And I know he will, when it comes to ICE, when it comes to National Guard, because it's definitely something that, I see that he'll have to end up doing. Just based off of the responses, just based off of, the energy that Zoran Mandani is giving each and every day. But you already know, make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Let me know y'all comments, thoughts down below. Catch y'all next one.